Hi. How are we feeling? How are we doing today? It's Wednesday. Today is 30-minute quick express class. Did anybody join yesterday? I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like very nice and stretched out, ready to work again. The 30 minutes is a little bit more of a quicker pace to kind of get your cardio, heart rate up, get you moving. Hi. We're gonna do this with no props today, so you can kind of, ditch the prop altogether. If you need some extra support, always grab a towel. Feel out your mat if it feels like it's ever just too thin and you need some extra support. That's where the towel will come into place. So you can kind of lay a towel down underneath, on top. You can use it as like a little bit of support for your knees, your spine. Trying to think of all the things. I don't know. I think let's just move. Let's just get started, and let's get going. Okay, let's start flat feet. We're going to start with your feet directly underneath your hips for now. I want you to start to find yourself kind of like lifting up off the ground. We're going to try to like ground through your heels, but also lifting up through the pelvic floor. Just start to reach your hands up to the ceiling. And then drop it down. Start to feel your low abdominals connecting as you start to reach your hands all the way up to the ceiling. And then drop it down. You're going to start to reach your hands in front of your shoulders here, taking your hands backwards. Try not to shift your weight on your heels, just reaching your hands forward and back. We're going to start to bend at the knees, but you're pulling your hips backwards over your heels, reaching your hands out, lifting it in and up. So you're bending it back. You're trying to keep your knees in line with your heels, in line with your hips. You're pulling your abdominals in, pressing it back, keeping the core in, reaching it out, and back. So I want you to envision something squeezing between your knees. We usually do with a ball there. So feel like you're still activating the inner thighs. Let's do 2 more. And then back. 1 more. You're going to hold this position. Just start to take your hands behind you, reach them up in line with your shoulders, starting to build some heat here, placing weight evenly on your feet. Nice big movements here. We're going to start to circle your arms around. So you're reaching your arms out, kind of swimming here, taking your elbows back, extend your hands in front of you, reaching it around, pulling the core in. You're just kind of extending through here, keeping the abdominals in. If you can see, I'm not pulling my weight directly over my toes. I know I'm facing towards you, but you're shifting your weight backwards over your heels, feeling your glutes connecting here. 1 more. And then reverse, taking your hands behind you, start to bend the elbows and reach it out, all the way. So you're stretching out. We're trying to move through a thicker space than air, okay? So we're adding some resistance, keeping the core in here. 2 more. Keep your breathing going, think deep breaths, try not to pop the ribs out. And then start to reach your hands forward. We're pressing into your heels, lift all the way up. Start to bend your knees, shifting your weight backwards. All the way up and back. Let's do 2 more. Lift and back. 1 more. And then back. And then you're just going to take your hands out behind you. I want you to pull your heels together. So you can see how I'm going from parallel to slightly externally rotated here. Start to reach your hands out, taking your hands backwards. Start to squeeze your inner thighs. You're squeezing your heels together, keeping the core in. Still shifting your weight backwards. And let's do 1 more. And then you're going to reach your hands forward as you take your arms back. You're lifting up, zipping through the inner thighs. Start to bend your knees as you pull your weight backwards. Lifting up through here, bending it back. So your upper body is at a slight forward hinge, keeping the core in. Reach it up, feeling the inner thighs, feeling the glutes all the way up. Try to relax the neck. 1 more. And then you're going to hold yourself forward here, reaching your hands out on a forward diagonal. Start to bend your elbows in, pressing it back. So I want you to think less about the squeeze in your shoulder blades, more about the abdominals, kind of pulling your elbows in, reaching it back here. So you're keeping your upper body forward, abdominals stay in. It's a lot of glute work here. Get tiny movements here. Let's do 3 more. Starting to build some inner body heat. 2 more. and then one more. Good, and then you're gonna take your arms out to the side. You're just gonna lift all the way up through here, zipping up the inner thighs, and you're gonna just bend the knees so now your body goes directly over your heels. Press it up as you take your arms up, bending it slightly, lifting up through here. Let's do two more. Lift it up, and one more. Lift it all the way up, and then you're gonna slowly start to round forward. We're gonna make our way onto our hands and knees. Your knees are going to be underneath your hips. Take your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Your toes are tucked underneath. You're going to start to pull the abdominals in and hover your knees up off the ground. And then drop it down. So we're going to continue this movement. I want you to check in with your elbows to make sure that your elbows are rotated forward towards your fingertips. Your elbows are soft. You're trying to pull your shoulders back. Keep pulling in the abdominals. If you're having any wrist issues here, you can go up onto a fist. And it's mostly about your abdominals lifting your knees up, not necessarily you lifting your knees up with your quads. Let's do two more. Lift, and down, and then one more. Lift, and down. You're gonna uncurl your toes, go into one cat stretch here, round all the way up, and then pull your body flat from here. So you're pulling your shoulders back, your elbows are forward. Start to reach your left hand back behind you, and you're going to drop that arm down. You're going to take your right hand back behind you and then drop it down. You're trying to keep your weight in the center of your body, just reaching it back, pulling the abdominals in. Try to feel your inner thighs connected here. Still the pelvic floor. Try not to put any weight into your feet. And let's do over to the right. And then you're going to keep your left arm back here. Rotate your right shoulder back. Start to do tiny pulses up with that left arm. Keeping the abdominals in. Check in with your right arm, make sure that elbow is slightly soft. Core stays in. Your heart rate should be up. You're starting to warm up here. Hold that arm up, start to bend your elbow, press it all the way back. So bending it in, pressing it back. Keep pulling in the abdominals. You're trying to get into a neutral pelvis here as well, so try not to tuck your pelvis here. We're trying to keep it like in a nice flat spine. Also trying not to arch. Two more. One more. Take it back and then turn your palm facing down to the floor. You're going to take that arm out into a T. Squeeze the pinky into your body. So you're going out. Hello, obliques. So you're taking it out right in line with your shoulder, pulling it in. Let's do three more. Two more. And one more. Whew. Drop that arm down, round all the way up into a cat stretch, pulling the core in, taking your body out flat again. Make sure your elbows are forward, shoulders are back, abdominals stay in, and taking that right arm back behind you. And then start to do very tiny pulses up with that arm. So you can feel, check in with your knees, see which knee has more pressure into it. Try to shift your weight over to the opposite knee. Try to shift your weight over to slightly over to your right side and your shoulder, keeping the abdominals in. Hold that arm up, start to bend the elbow and press it back. Bend, press it back. So check in with your neck also, make sure that you're kind of not straining in the front or the back. Softening your feet. Let's do three more. Two more. Still connecting to inner thighs to remind yourself there. Take it all the way out. Turn your palm facing down to the floor and then take that right arm out into a T. Pull those fingertips in. So all the way out. Pull it in. So your right arm's into a T, your palm is facing down to the floor. Check in with that left side, make sure that your shoulder's back. One more. Oh my gosh. Drop it down, round up into a cat stretch. And then pull yourself back to center. You're going to open up your knees, squeeze your heels here, and then tuck your toes underneath. So you're rolling your shoulders back, start to pull your knees, lifting up through the core. Your knees are going to lift up off the ground, and then drop it down. So thinking pull the core, and your knees are going to hover up and hold, dropping down. Let's do three more. Lifting up and hold, dropping down. Very nice, like connecting into your low abdominals. You're hovering up here. Same thing with the elbows. Check in to make sure your shoulders are back. You're engaging in the lats. And down. One more. Lift. and down. You're going to uncurl your toes. You're going to pull yourself up to standing here. So you're going to lift up on top of your knees, taking your arms back, starting to round forward. You're shifting your weight over your heels, and then lifting the chest up, pressing your chest back, rounding forward. So really pulling the abdominals in. You're starting to connect into the glutes here as well. When you're lifted forward, make sure that your body weight is directly over your knees. That's really how you get into the abdominals there. 2 more. Use this as your shoulder recovery because we're going into a little bit of planks after this. So round forward. Taking your arms back, you're going to take your hands out to the side. You're going up and over to the left. Go this way. Up and over to the side. Using your abdominals to come back in. So your weight is even on both knees, but you're lifting up and over, pulling the abdominals in. Back to center. Up and over. How are we feeling here? And then back. So you're really like reaching out. As you're going over to the right, your left knee stays down onto the ground. And lift. Breathe deeply here. We're trying not to breathe out of our stomachs, trying to expand the ribs out to the side and pull it back in. 1 more. All the way out. And then back. Take your arms down to your side. Just start to reach your hands up in front of you. Take your hands backwards. I want you to almost feel like you're falling forward. That's how much your abdominals are like hanging on so that you're not falling forward here. And back. I'm going to start to move myself back onto my mat, but you're going to continue there. Forward. So you can see I'm kind of like almost falling forward here. 1 more. Woo, I went too far. And then reach back into a child's pose, stretching your arms out. Start to tuck your toes underneath, your heels are together. You're going to press yourself out into a full plank. Zipping up the inner thighs with your hips externally rotated. Start to bend your knees wide as you press through your arms. Zipping through, stretch out of your upper body. So you're bending it back, zipping up here, stretching it up. Stretching through your arms, squeezing the inner thighs. Let's do 2 more. All the way up. And 1 more. Press it all the way out. You're going to drop your knees down, but you're going to keep yourself in this modified plank. Start to lift your feet up here. Your shoulders are back. Elbows stay in. You're going to start to bend your elbows as your chest goes down to the floor. And push it up. So you're bending down here, pushing it up. I'm like at the strangest angle today. I can barely see you. Okay, so your hips are forward. As you bend down, your low abdominals are really helping your arms to pull back. Your elbows are forward. Pull the core in here, pushing it up. Let's do 2 more. And up. 1 more. And up, and you're going to sit back here, stretching out through your arms. Start to tuck your toes underneath and squeezing your ankles together. You're pressing out into a full plank. Shoulders are back. You're going to tap your left foot to your right knee. You're going to slide it all the way down. You're going to tap, slide it all the way down. Squeeze. So opening up that hip, slide it down, squeeze. 1 more. Slide it down, squeeze. We're going into a pike. Pressing through those arms, lifting up in the chest. Rolling through, so if you can see my left leg is on top of my right. My left hip is slightly open, externally rotated. You're rolling through the spine, holding your plank. 2 more. Rolling through, shoulders back, abdominals in. 1 more. Rolling through. You're going to go into a passe on that left foot. Slide it down. Drop that foot, connecting the inner thighs. Bend your knees. Sit back into a child's pose, stretching through your fingertips. We're ready for the other side. Start to tuck your toes underneath, squeezing your heels. Pressing it all the way out into a full plank so your elbows are forward, abdominals stay in. You're going into a passe with that right foot, stretching that leg all the way down, squeezing at the ankles. So you're going to tap, pressing it down, squeezing. 2 more. Oh my gosh. 1 more, really lengthening out of the core. And now into your pike, lifting it up, pulling the abdominals in, rolling through the spine. Open up the chest. And let's do 3 more. So you're trying to lengthen out of that right leg, out of the right hip, pulling the shoulders back, stretching out of the neck here. 2 more. Rolling through. 1 more. Rolling through. You're going to lift that foot up, slide it down, squeeze your heels together, drop your knees, sit back into a child's pose. We're going to pull the abdominals in. You're going to make your way back on top of your knees, lifting up in the chest. How are we doing? Pull your weight a little bit more onto your knees. Start to do 2 arm circles here. 1 more. And let's reverse the circle the opposite way. Up and forward. And all the way. Beautiful. Let's make our way onto our hips. Let's take your feet in front of you. Let's squeeze your heels together. Your knees are going to stay slightly apart. Reach your hands all the way out through here. We're going to just do 2 roll downs. If you're pregnant or you are having like some diastasis, maybe from a prior pregnancy, skip these roll ups and roll downs. If you're having any sort of like spinal issues or anything that feels uncomfortable, don't do them. But if you don't, you're going to use this moment to align your spine back into center. Lift it up. You're going to scoop the abdominals back here. I want you to keep the chest slightly open. You're just going to start to reach your arms out to the side, pull them back into the center here. So you're opening your arms out, pulling it into the center. Your feet are squeezed together, but your toes aren't necessarily pressing down into the ground. I want you to feel like your heels are pulling back in towards your body so that your glutes are kind of activated here. You're feeling inner thighs, you're feeling low abdominals. You're stretching out the arms. Let's do 1 more. Come back to center here. Scoop and roll all the way down. Taking your hands up over your head. Let's pull the chin in. Slowly start to lift right back up. You're going to scoop and roll halfway again here. Just start to do tiny circles. Tiny circles here in the shoulders, keeping the core in. How are we doing? It's a quicker pace. Try to still make sure that you're focusing on form. You're focusing on breathing, making sure you're not clenching in the jaw. You're still taking it slow, even though it's quick, if you know what I mean. It's like the movements, you're not powering through just to do them. Like you're really intentionally doing the movements here. 1 more. Back to center. Scoop and roll all the way down. Taking your hands up over your head. Let's pull the chin in. Slowly starting to lift all the way back up. We're going to go halfway again. So you're scooping here. Open up the chest. Do the tiny reverse circles here. Keeping the core in. Tiny circles. Shoulders are dropped. Still squeezing, activating the inner thighs here. And 2 more. Back to center, and then you're going to roll all the way down. Taking your hands up over your head. 1 more time here. Pulling the chin in. Let's lift it all the way up. And then we're going to make our way down onto our elbows behind us. So we're going to go into this position. I want you to walk your feet in very slightly. Check in with your shoulders and lift all the way up. So your knees still stay open. We're going to start to hover your right leg up. We're going to hover your left leg up. You're going to dip the right leg down and then lift it up. Dip the left leg down. Lift it up. So you're trying to keep your spine in neutral here. So if you can see, I'm trying to still stay lifted up in my low back. And if this feels like too much to have your legs up, or if it's like aggravating your neck a little bit much, you can drop it all the way down and go here, lift. It's still a lot of work as well. Drop it down, lift. And if your legs are up, start to make your way into this position with 1 foot down, 1 foot up. And then you're going to hover your right leg up, hold here. You're going to start to extend that leg all the way out, start to draw the knee in. Stretching it out, drawing the knee in. So you're still lengthening out of your spine, still staying lifted up off your arms. If you're feeling like you're gripping your fingertips here, you can make a fist and kind of press down, really lift up. Sometimes it gives you like a little bit more lift, a little bit more strength in your arms. 1 more. And then drop it down. Start to hover your left leg up, reaching that leg out, bend it in. Stretching it out. How are you feeling? Try to keep your hips even here. Stay lifted up through the core. You want to try not to sink here, okay? It would feel almost like it's just leg. You really want to get lifted up into the core. Okay, let's do 2 more. 1 more. Good. Drop your feet down through here. You're going to start to make your way up onto your arms. You can drop your feet all the way down where your heels are onto the ground. Hands are underneath your shoulders. You're going to start to hover your hips up, lifting up out of the chest. Keeping your arms nice and straight, you're going to start to squeeze your knees together. Open the knees out. So you're pulling in the core here, squeezing. You can see my hips are slightly lifted up off the ground. And open. Stay lifted up. Try not to fully, hyperextend your elbows. You're trying to keep them semi-soft. 1 more. Open the knees up, tiny dips of the arm, and lift. Tiny dip, and lift. Pulling in the core, and lift. Shoulders are back. Trying to connect into the triceps. Tiny, tiny dips. You're trying to tap deep into that pelvic floor, squeezing your heels together. 1 more. Drop your hips down. Woo. Reaching your hands all the way around. Let's scoop and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Go all the way down. How am I doing here? Up and over. Circle your arms around towards your hips. Pull the chin in. Let's slowly lift all the way up. Open up your knees. Let's take a butterfly stretch for a second. Drop your head down. You're going to flip your legs around. You're going to go onto your right elbow here. Take your left hand to the side. We're going to do some of our twisting coming with a glute exercise. So the spinal rotations will happen here. Hover this left leg all the way up. I want you to lift up out of your chest. Your right foot's all the way flat. Your knee is underneath your hip. We're going to tap that toe down to the ground. Lift it up. So your chest is like slightly rotated over to the left, but I want you to take your head down to the floor. We just did a lot of like neck stability work when you're lifted with the abdominals, so allow this moment to kind of relax your neck so we don't overly aggravate anything. Down and lift. Let's do 3 more. And try to keep your spine straight here. If you can notice my torso is trying not to add any movements. 1 more. You're lifting up and hold. You're going to start to bend the knee and you're twisting over to the knee. You're stretching that leg out and then you're rotating down to the floor and your left elbow is bending slightly. So you're rotating here. Bend it in. Stretching out through the spine as you bend and lengthen. So you're trying to feel your hip kind of lengthening out of your toe. Stretch. Bend it in. Stretch it out. Let's do 3 more. And out. 2 more. You can notice that I'm not taking a pause. I'm like lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Still working, even though it's not moving. You can't see it, but it's internally still lengthening here. Stretch it out. We're going into a straight leg. Twisting over to the left. Straight leg tap. Lift it up and twist. So you're going over to the side. Bending that left elbow, twist. Let's go 3 more. 2 more here. How are you feeling? All the way up. 1 more. All the way up. You're going to drop this knee down to the floor. Extend your left arm all the way out. So you're stretching through that side of your body. You're going to extend your right leg out. Start to hover it up here. Lengthen as far as you can. You can actually ground that left arm down to the floor. You're going to start to tap this leg down to the floor and then lift. So you're tapping it down, lifting it up. If you can, try to keep it in parallel. Keep pulling in the core here. Let's do 3 more. And lift. 2 more. Lift. And then 1 more. Lift it up. Hold. Bend the knee. Reach your right hand all the way out. You can take your knees slightly apart. Stretch through here. Fold your left arm underneath your right arm. You get a nice twist over to the right. And then let's come back to center here. Slowly start to articulate the spine. Let your head be the last piece. Roll your shoulders back. We're going to go right over to the other side. Okay. Keep the movement going though so you can keep your heart rate up here. So left arm here, right hand, opening up out to the side, trying to stay lifted up through the core. Your right leg's extending. I'm going to drop my head down to the floor here. You're just tapping the toe down and lifting. So try not to just grip into the glute. Try to think more elongating out of the front of your body, so you're not really just like being like, oh, I'm getting it there so that my glute starts to work, but you're like reaching out, 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 out. Drop it down and lift. Also check in with that supporting side of your body. So on the left side, you're still lifting up the abdominals so that you're not putting too much pressure onto that left knee. Lift. One more, lifting up and holding. You're going to bend the knee and you're twisting over to the side. You're bending your right elbow as you rotate down to the floor and extend. So check in with that left shoulder too. Make sure you're not dipping down too far on that left shoulder. You're just rotating down to the floor. Stretch it out. And out. Two more. And out. One more. And out, hold here. You're going to tap it to the side. You're going to twist it to the side. Lift it up, bend the elbow. Can you feel your right tricep doing some work here also? Getting a nice twist in the spine. And out. Two more. One more. All the way out. Think lift, lift, lift. Drop that knee down. Stretch out through that right arm. If you can notice, I'm actually taking my body down slightly, but if you feel like it's a little bit more protected up from your abdominals and your spine, you can take it there. I like getting a little bit more of a stretch. Stretching out through that left side. Hovering that leg up. You're just going to tap it down to the floor. Lift it up. We're trying to keep it in parallel. Stretching out through your core. Keeping your abdominals in. It's almost like really light on your shoulders and your arms. Getting more of a stretch. A lot of abdominal here. Let's do two more. One more. And drop your knees down. Reach your hands all the way out. You can take your knees slightly apart here. Take your right hand underneath your left arm. Getting a nice twist. And then slowly starting to roll up through the spine. And I think we have a couple more minutes. I love it. All right, we're going to flip forward. Take your feet into parallel, reaching your hands forward. We're going to slowly start to roll all the way down. You're going to start to draw your knees in towards your chest. Pull your knees in here and hold. You can rock side to side, relaxing your head down. And now you're going to curl up looking towards your knees. Take your hands on top of your knees here, grounding your tailbone down. And then reach your hands behind, lifting up in the chest. Take your knees up to tabletop. You're going to reach your right leg out. Start to bend the knee in. Stretching it out. Good. So you're going to do like one full breath on each leg. So do like your inhale, exhale, and pull the knee in. Stretching out of the spine. And then let's twist over to the left as your right leg reaches out. Pull the knee back in. Nice rotation to the side. It's your belly button up, rotating. You're trying to look past behind you there. Trying not to just directly twist. You're rotating, pulling back to center. Rotating, back to center. One more over to this side. Hold here. You're going to reach your right leg up. We're going to make like an L. You're going to kind of bicycle here. Keep your neck nice and long. You're pressing your head into your neck, keeping the abdominals in. And up. One more. And let's reverse. Whew. I got confused. Make an L. An L. All the way up. And up. Let's do two more. Trying to keep a really neutral pelvis here. If your lower back hurts, you can add a little tuck. Bend the knees in here and hold. You're going to drop one foot at a time. Take your knees slightly apart, heels together. Lower your upper body down. Reaching your arms out to the side. Start to tuck and lift all the way up into a bridge. Hips stay high. Neck lengthens all the way out. Scoop and roll down one vertebrae at a time. tucking your hips. I'm gonna walk my heels in a little bit closer into my glutes just to get a little bit more range of motion here on the lift. All the way up, lengthen out of your neck, and now scoop and roll down. One vertebrae at a time. One more, let's lift all the way up. You're gonna reach your hands all the way up over your head, pull your shoulders up to your ears and stretch out of your fingertips. You're gonna scoop and roll down one vertebrae at a time, stretching out through your spine. Arms go down by your side, start to tuck and lift all the way up. Open up your chest at the top, reaching your arms all the way out. Scoop and roll down one vertebrae at a time. Arms go down by your side, start to tuck and lift all the way up. Arms go all the way up, stretching out of your fingertips, scoop and roll all the way down. Take your left leg out in front of you, take your right knee into your chest, give it a nice little pull. Cross your right foot over to your left side, ground your right hip down so you're stretching out of the right side of your body. You're pulling that shape into your body to stretch out in your piriformis. It's like that deep glute muscle that causes, if it gets too tight, it causes some sciatic pain. Cross your left arm over your right knee. Get a twist over to the left as you look over to your right. Oh, that felt so good. Come back to center. Let's switch. Take your left knee into your chest. Cross your left foot over to your right side. Pull that whole shape into your body. Dropping the shoulders, really lengthen out this left hip. Cross your right hand over to your left side. Get a twist. Keep going, keep looking over to the side. Checking in. I have so much anxiety after that one day that I don't know, even though it's 30 minutes, I'm still timing. Come back to center. Pull your knees into your chest. You can rock side to side. You're going to start to grab on underneath your knees. You're going to start to rock all the way up. You can keep your knees slightly apart, heels are together. We're going to lift up. We're going to go into some rolling like a ball. Scoop and roll back. Let's lift it up. Hold it up through here. Scoop and roll, trying to roll through your thoracic. I got stuck, so I'm going to keep going. 2 more. Scoop. And lift. 1 more. Scoop and roll back. Lift it up. Drop your feet down. Let's take a butterfly stretch to end. Just reach your hands all the way out. Stretching through your hips here. You can walk your hands over to one side. Walk it over to the other side. And because we didn't do a ton of leg inversion stuff, I'd love you to end with your legs up on the wall. Just give it a few minutes there. That's it. Hope everybody feels so good. It was kind of a quicker one. We kept the pace kind of flowing. I'm like a little sweaty. Thank you all for joining. I love you all. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Back on schedule for 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm adding also a 30-minute express at 11:15 tomorrow, so I'll post all of the new details for that. That's it. I love you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.